It's Craig. It's been a
Hi,
month.
Gary. We appreciate you, Gary.
Welcome back to Dragon Calamity. Alright, anything before we get started? My hair looks nice? I don't even have my camera on. Okay. See my messy background. See my cat food in the background. Ignore my messy background, actually. Why did I turn on the camera? Yeah. So, welcome to another fantastic, hopefully, Dragon Calamity. Kyo, hello, how are you?
I am awake, jazzed, and excited because tomorrow the new expansion of Destiny comes out. Yes.
Hey, nerd.
Hypocrite. What are we playing?
Psh, that's besides the point. Sandy, hello, how are you?
I'm good. It's been a while. It's been like a month.
Has been a month.
Yeah, so far, only updates. I'm having fun playing a new Yakuza game that came out, which is not really new, but it's nice. And Last of Us. Watching Last of Us, so that's been nice.
Get in on that.
You should. It's good.
Soul, how are you? How is Zeroka / Miz?
Good. Let's just say Zeroka is a little bit disappointed, but he didn't expect anything less from the group. A good chunk of people.
They did do a good bit of murdering.
Weren't supposed to.
You
was
know,
advised not to. Yeah.
We tried.
Not that hard, but
he's keeping it to himself.
Excuse you.
He's not really. As long as the mission's complete, that's all that matters.
I very legitimately did try. You monster.
You did. There was murdering that happened pretty quick. Speaking of, who wants to start some recap? Give me a little bit of recap of some of the shit that happened.
Caelyn legitimately did try to convince the Minotaur to, at the very least, talk longer than necessary while inadvertent murder occurred. She got hasted and fucked them bitches up, and is now gloriously exhausted because that's what happens when haste is done.
It's true.
I guess for Mrs. part, he basically just attacked the Minotaur for most parts and handled, what was it, like, henchmen, I guess? People on the side. He did end up killing one of them at the end, even though he surrendered, because that's just Miz. And unbeknownst to him, someone thinks he attacked him, which he did not. And we'll find out how that fares out later.
It's true. I think was it you that downed the very overly ambitious little henchman?
Yes.
I don't remember his name, but he was in over his head, poor guy.
He's a henchman.
Overly ambitious.
You're not supposed to remember his name. He's a henchman.
It's a henchman. In my head, he was like a fucking intern, just doing his best. All right. So, what's your recap?
Other than the fact that Zeroka got into a duel with the blonde-haired man and his four other lackeys, nothing much besides him just finding out that the aftermath, like the battle's been over and those guys retreated, and Zeroka has found 200 gold pieces, diamonds, I think worth, from the individual who Xander killed a few sessions ago. So other than that, yeah, Zeroka's ready to head back and report to Fredman, I think.
Yeah, so everyone grab you a DM inspiration.
Hey.
Make sure you mark shit on your inventory sheets for the loot and stuff. Well,
what loot we got?
Well, you were kind of looting stuff. I feel like I said something about like a sword that was just like a regular ass sword, because I don't remember, was Xander looting too?
Yeah, he was.
The burnt out remains, I think, of that main hut that he facilitated.
I don't remember what I said he was gonna get. We will give him some generic rewards when he comes back and see if he remembers what I said. But we'll kind of even it out. So I think Caelyn was you were more looking for information and stuff, though, right? You did get information. And it is up to you what you do with that information, because you got that natural 20 history check when you saw the emblem that most of the guys were wearing on one of their bracers. As a refresher, it was a navy blue bracer that most of them were wearing with a black sun kind of engraved into the leather. We'll say everybody else just like Zeroka got the 200 gold worth of like diamonds and shit. We'll say everyone else got like 100 gold worth of random shit that they can go sell at some point. You'll get a day off after this. It'll be fine. I mean, I'm serious. You will get a day off after this. So it's up to you if you want to divvy that up into like random loot, like new, shinier leather armor. It's not going to be +1 or anything, or 100 gold worth of shit that you would have found in bandit tents. I'm going to leave that up to you. Just let me know and mark it on your sheet. But yes, at this point, Fredman is waiting for you all. He has offered to teleport everyone back to Dragon Glen, so that you don't have to, find your way back, because you're not you teleported here. You're not exactly sure where you are, if we're going to be honest. I think he said it was something like an hour or two ride back.
Absolutely. Are we waiting for the evil she-devil? I mean, Jess. Yes. Caelyn is perfectly aware that they still have the pieces.
They don't work that far away, okay? I mean, you don't know where the sanctuary is, but the silence on the other end implies that it's far enough away that the earpieces don't work. No, you were not waiting on Jess to go back. Jess had dipped with the dragon and did not say that she was coming back. So Fredman was just kind of waiting for you all to be done with your looting. He just wants to go.
Caelyn just kind of claps him on the shoulder. I'm sorry you had to see that, my friend. I do believe we did our best to end it quickly. Do you need some water? You look very parched.
Yes, well, I will probably get some tea or something after this. I could definitely use that, but I would prefer to really just get going, if at all possible. Is everyone pretty much good to go?
Yep, I'm good.
Yeah.
I've decided Xander is good to go also. And he says, yes, well, if everyone is good to go, I will ask that you don't really tell anyone about the teleportation hub that we are going to, because people tend to want to take advantage of it once they know that it even exists. And I would also ask that when we go, you will strictly follow me and not touch anything. I did not create the place that we are going, and many of the teleportation circles there lead to more or less potentially dangerous planes of existence, or, loop into areas that will have you lost forever if you can't teleport back out. It's in kind of a weird pocket in the astral plane that's usually safe, though. Everyone understand?
Don't touch anything. Follow you closely. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And he opens what looks like a very, very fancy large pocket watch, and presses the face of it, and a blinding blue flash surrounds all of you. And you feel weightless for a moment, like you are suspended in nothingness, and then you feel your feet on cold, hard tile. There's an electric chill in the air, and you feel lighter than before somehow, and you find yourself standing on a large round platform where your teleportation circle is that you've landed on. You see there are circular stairs that kind of wind downwards towards more platforms and more teleportation circles below, with no guardrail to keep you from falling were you to misstep. Let me go ahead and move you to that map. It's very pretty, and I like it. The large platform that you are on stretches out in front of you, where there's a wider circular part with a handful of teleportation circles around the edges of it, and more below and beyond that on another platform. And the center has a huge, slowly swirling, foreign-looking orrery that doesn't represent any galaxy that you are aware of. And as you take in just the large golden platforms that you're on, you realize you are surrounded by kind of some sort of abyss, maybe. You see bluish, thin clouds stretch on seemingly forever until they fully block your vision about half a mile. But you see no shapes or life besides faint twinkling stars in the distance, kind of like you're floating in some sort of magical space. And Fredbin steps forward, but looks back at you and says, "Please follow closely." And as he kind of starts walking forward, Nanners has crawled out of his pocket and is jumping over to Caelyn to start looking in her pockets for snacks. Does Nanners find any snacks?
Caelyn, very gently bats his aside. Hold on, I will get snacks. You don't have to go digging. And she pulls out some of the meal, like her lunch that she had in her little knapsack. It's like, I'm never going to actually get to eat this, am I? And just hands it to him, and it's like sausage and more sausage and bread. Something that is it doesn't matter what the temperature is. It's edible regardless. Here,
Fredbin kind of looks back and is like, "Oh, please don't give Nanners more." Oh my goodness. Because Nanners immediately takes it, jumps back over onto Fredbin, and just disappears with just arms full of these snacks into Fredbin's jacket. Just stashing it all like fucking squirrel. Fredbin is just like, and you're not sure if Fredbin knows where those snacks are going. Because the jacket is now flat up against him again, like he has disappeared into some sort of infinite pocket within his jacket.
I am sorry.
Yes, well, he is also on a diet because I don't know if you noticed that, Ring of Levitation, but he doesn't really use his wings that much, so he doesn't really get much exercise. So he gets chubby pretty quickly if I just let him eat whatever he wants.
Caelyn pauses at that, thinks about the magical knowledge she has, decides it's not worth it, just nods her head. Of course. Oh, jeez.
I mean,
that doesn't make sense, but I'm not a magic person. Whatever, man.
I mean, if you've seen Nanners, he just floats. He kind of just uses his wings to steer him. So Nanners doesn't actually expend that much energy day to day. He just kind of floats around. So it's the flying monkey equivalent of a very sedentary lifestyle. But Fredbin kind of leads you on south and takes you to one of the main platforms down there past everything. And he says, "This will put you in the main teleportation hub for Dragon Glen. I do have other business to attend to, so I will not be following." And kind of pauses and looks at Ms. and Caelyn. "Also, I wasn't sure I should say anything, but I got the feeling Jess has probably treated you two unfairly. I just wanted to suggest not taking it personally. I have known Jess for an unfortunately long time, and there's just kind of some bad blood between her and bounty hunters in general. Just know that you can still depend on her, even if she is quite rude, most of the time. She would never actually let personal biases blind her to the point that it would cause harm to others. Well, I think. Anyways, she's quite dedicated to her job despite questionable methods that you have now seen. And, I suppose you should be fortunate to consider yourself to be under her protection despite the unpleasantries that come with that."
I'm about to go back into Southern again. It's okay, y'all. I'm here in Georgia. It's a little bit too simple to just slide right in and out of it and not really think about it. No. Well, in that case, since you do know Jess, I would never ask probing deep questions because it is none of my business. However, is there something that we can do to prove that we are not like these bad bounty hunters, that she doesn't immediately roll her eyes the moment we walk into a room?
That might be more of a time type thing. The grudge runs centuries deep, unfortunately. So it might be a time thing. I wish I could say for sure, but just know that verbal is probably the worst that you'll get from her.
Wonderful. Also, throwing it out there, I know the guild artificer would probably, obviously, you being who you are, would love to have a conversation with you because you being who you are. But more importantly, she has fantastic tea. If you would like to actually get the cup with somebody who's liable to not engage in violence in any time soon.
Well, I do like tea. Perhaps I will message you another time when I have some spare time. Unfortunately, I do have some other business to attend to after this.
Thank you for the advice.
Yes. And you can contact me through the guild if you need anything in the future, especially regarding the dragons. So if I can do anything else for you to aid, since it seems you are the team working on the dragons and all of that and their safety, just have the guild let me know, and I will see what I can do.
Okay.
As you all step onto the teleportation circle that will take you back to Dragon Glen, he says, I do sincerely thank you all for your help again for recovering the dragon. You have done a great service to a helpless creature, as well as the realms. And with a blue flash of light, you are teleported back into the main teleportation circle in the Dragon Glen teleportation hub, which is basically a magic airport MARTA station type thing.
Okay,
that you've
can
all
we
been
say
in.
something besides Marta? Can we say Hartsfield? Because Hartsfield at least is functional.
Yeah, Hartsfield. It's something like that. It's basically a very, very big building that has a whole bunch of different like halls, and it'll point you in the right direction to the right teleportation circles, and kind of like maybe like a mini airport type place, because there are private teleportation circles that you can only get to with like special passes and stuff like that. But it's all pretty cheap because all of the teleportation circles have been there for so long, and there's not really much of a annual upkeep on it. So it's actually pretty affordable for most people to teleport places if they need to.
Decent public transportation. Well,
Yeah. I will say, as you step back through, you find yourself back in the hub, and you feel like before in that area, you felt kind of lighter, and you feel now as heavy as you normally do. And the chilly tingle of the magic that had been in the air in the other place quickly fades, and you also gain the benefit of a short rest.
woo.
So there was, in fact, magic in the air there. You're welcome. So, I'm gonna assume you all head back to the guild to collect your reward and all of that. But I'm not gonna force you if you wanted to do other stuff.
What other stuff is there to do?
There is Quest Buy. I posted 3 new items in Quest Buy. You all can talk with each other. Like Caelyn got that new information that she can pull anyone aside to speak with them about. It's really up to you.
Caelyn is going to promptly grab Miz and be like, we'll see you guys at the guild in like 20 minutes. I want to go buy shit, and I'm going to take my big scary stabby friend to facilitate bartering.
Miz kind of gives like a side eye for a second. It's like, and he's like, all right.
The moment they're far enough away, hey, you remember that one time in the guild where Jess legitimately showed up and just took somebody out in terms of just she's never really there, and suddenly there's this person that she is personally escorting out of the guild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was a part. That person was a part of this Black Sun group. Like, there's active bounties on any of their leadership if you can find them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they went from very, very small players to very, very big players in a way that is very, very suspicious. And you know the law, people. There's a little always to make sure nothing bad happens because they can't trust the bounty hunters because we'll probably kill somebody. But not if it comes with money, because life is always better than death. Death is just personal. Yeah, she was the only one. Remember, because it was weird because she doesn't show up at all because she hates us because she's a bitch. You're welcome. So she doesn't like us. So all of a sudden she's in here and just takes this guy and just promptly removes him. I don't remember if any of those type of people are on your list, but I just remember it being very, very bad.
They're not on my list. Trust me, the ones on my list have very distinct features and are pretty well known.
So long as you do not get killed, you little bastard, and you can always ask for help. Not that you need it, but backup is always good. Somebody else to get hit.
As long as I accomplish my goal, I don't care if I die.
No, bad. She just like one would do. Like, no, bad, smack. Just like, no. We don't walk into situations expecting and or wanting to die. Because damn it, who is going to watch my back? I like your continued existence, you grumpy bitch.
Thank you. The feelings likewise.
Aww. I got to Mr. Stabby as a friend. I am so proud of myself. Now come, I was also A, I wanted to tell you that, but B, I 100% want to go buy things. Because we have money and things for trade.
Yeah, Miz will follow along.
So specifically at the quest buy, I want the thing that lets me cast Identify, because yes, bitch, yes!
Yes. Let me read that. That is the Identifying Lens, a magnifying glass with elvish inscriptions along the sides of the lens. This lens holds 3 charges as an action. You may use a charge to cast the Identify spell as you hover the glass over the item in which you wish to identify. You may regain 1d4 charge during the next dawn.
Just asking that the Band of Fallen Leaves, right? Is that, do you necessarily have to be attuned? Do you have to know magic, like arcane, basically, or no? Anyone can have it. Is that something that you have to be a mage?
Nope, it doesn't specify that you have to be a mage to use it, so literally anyone can use it. I mean, it's just kind of cantrips. I don't see you breaking anything with it, and it didn't clarify, so yeah, you can use it if you want.
Okay.
Because basically you just speak the command word. So that's kind of like magic for dummies.
All right, and then you can cast Druidcraft, Guidance, Mending, or Light.
Correct. Light can only be cast on the ring, and it produces a pale green shade of light emanating from the glass. And you can dismiss it as a bonus action. So it's basically you just follow the letter of the cantrips themselves.
Right. Okay.
I let people get kind of fun with Druidcraft if you want to do something more fun than just the basics. If you ask me about it, because I feel like you can do some fun stuff as long as it's not game breaking. Like, you want to make a flower crown? I'll let you make a flower crown.
Yeah, I'll probably use it more for like role playing, but the guidance is the one I want for like skill checks and like saving throws and stuff like that.
Yeah,
saving throws. Yeah,
it's a good one. It's a good item, and for dirt cheap too. Dirt cheap at 50 gold.
You said guidance for saving?
Oh, guidance for attack rolls and stuff like that.
Guidance doesn't.
Is
Whatever. It gives me a plus a 1d4, something like that. Whatever it is.
Skill checks.
Yep, there we go.
yeah,
It helps.
is in there.
So
Somewhere.
I'll buy the Band of Fallen Leaf
All
for
right.
50 gold.
Does Zeroka want anything from in there? There's multiple, so you can double up if you want.
You're talking about plus buy stuff?
Yeah, quest buy.
Yeah, I'll probably run into the two of them there anyway. It's like, oh hey.
Give me 1 second. Let me check something. Because I need something. I need a certain amount of money by level 5 or something.
Okay. And you guys are about to get your rewards too. You just have to go back to the guild first, and collect it. So fun meeting time back at the guild as usual.
You know what? Yeah, I'm actually gonna get the Band of Fallen Leaves.
Okay.
It does.
It's a good item. I discounted it for y'all.
For the guidance part, that is pretty special. For 50
You are such a
gold
benevolent
pieces.
god.
I like to have fun with stuff. If I was playing, that's how I would want it to be. So
I like it.
yeah. And you're all low level. None of this is game breaking. You get a couple of druid cantrips. Like, you're not going to destroy anything with that. If my story were to be ruined by a couple of cantrips, then that's a shitty story.
Or a very creative player.
Yeah. I haven't run into it quite to that point yet. Certain
next time I'll be
spells
an
maybe, but
artificer.
not cantrips.
Next time I'll be an artificer.
Who said you get to play again? Who said I'm running this campaign again? This is the 5th time I'm running this.
And you
It
love
might be
it.
good after this. I do. I customize it so much for every group.
Do you plan on running a new campaign after this, like a different one?
Well, I'm playing in a campaign run by Kyler on Tuesdays, and then Wednesdays we're doing the Crits and Grits main campaigns, which kind of alternates between Gary and Alex DMing. And then every now and again I'll do like a little side thing. Because I have like a fun little module that I bought a while back. It's like the Madness of the Rat King, and we'll eventually finish it. I think we started last year and just haven't finished it because we haven't done side stuff, but so I still play. I just don't know if I'll DM because cosplay season is going to pick back up, and
Right.
hoping to buy a house this year at some point. So,
Which, ironically enough, D&D might save your the fact that you have most of the things that you need anyway.
pretty much.
Well, if I find that fuck I need that I lost a long time ago, I might run a Thirsty Sword Lesbians campaign.
Hell yeah, I'll host.
That face.
I'll host.
Of course you will.
Shh, it's fine. It's fine. Anything else at the moment in town?
I'm good for now.
No, she would have that stuff already. Actually, no. I'm gonna sidestep real quick into the fancy tea shop I know about to grab some fancy tea as bribery before I go interrupt the nerdiest of nerds. Is the guild's artificer.
Okay.
The group of them at least.
You yeah, tell me how much money's worth of tea you are getting. Mark that off your inventory and mark fancy tea in your inventory.
For the bougie tea, like maybe 12 cups, 2 gold.
2 gold? Okay.
You're God. Then again, do you drink tea?
I mean, it's like $50 to $100 for a gold, so I would say 1 gold is pretty fancy tea.
Yeah, so 1 gold.
Okay.
Fancy.
There you go. Mark that off. Yep. After you get that fancy tea, you all head back to Guild HQ, and just like last time, Mahenga kind of motions you to go up the stairs and tells you to go to Golomov's office, which I think you've been there once before, right? Yeah. You all head up to Golomov's office. And waiting in there, it looks like Jess has only gotten there right before you, as she is kind of settling down, kind of sitting down in the couch there. Kind of looks over at you three, I guess. Xander's not gonna be there. Where's Xander's token? Off to the side. Xander. And just kind of gives you a nod. And Golemov is kind of looking at Jess, just like a little worried, and then looks at the rest of you and just says,
"Welcome back. Exactly what happened?"
Well, in our defense, we tried. And by we, I mean I tried. I tried.
Golemov just immediately kind of leans forward on his desk, fingertips kind of on his forehead, just like, oh no, just listening though, not interrupting.
Yes, I did actually try to start the conversation with them. I showed up using the Bounty Hunter Guild sigil instead, so that way it's less likely for them to ask further questions. And I was actually decently close to negotiating at least somebody being escorted to the guild to deal with the situation to actually handle the purchase. They were not acting alone. They did the Minotaur that was there, 100% working for somebody else, who might actually be a problem because it looked like they were from the Black Suns. I saw that sigil kind of everywhere, and I was actually really close until somebody did some murder. Actually, no, there we go. That's why Xander is gone, because Caelyn was glaring at him the entire time like this. I was so close. Because when for the rules of petty, you will do anything necessary for petty fucking reasons. And Caelyn was so goddamn close to not letting Jess do murder. So close. Then murder started, and it continued, and we killed the dude in charge, but they teleported out. Some of them actually did live. So we tried. I tried. Fuck all y'all. I'm taking credit for this. Caelyn tried.
And Miz is gonna step up and say, "Yes, we did try, but we all committed murder. Me, Caelyn, Zeroka, and
Yeah, he's full of shit. He's full of shit.
Nah.
Zeroka
say that
did
straight
not
up.
kill anybody.
We
And
all
Zeroka
killed
definitely
somebody."
points him out and says he's full of crap.
Immediately start to blame game.
Zeroka puts his hand behind his back and says, "We did try to not kill anyone. I didn't, but the absent party member did."
We all tried, sir, but we all committed murder. It was just necessary, the mission, including Zeroka.
And I don't know why Miz keeps lying. And Zeroka looks at him with a glare and says, "Miz, if you state one more fucking time that I murdered someone, I will put a dagger to your neck as quick as you usually do others."
Well, that's something a murder would say, huh? Well, there you go. We all committed murder and we all killed somebody, but we did it as part of the mission. We tried.
More important matters besides this liar keeps going on. We did capture the dragon, and the mission was completed. It is
by
in safe
murdering
hands.
everyone.
Not everyone. Some of them did in fact get to run. Actually, and as a point of fact, some of them did leave the encampment and they were going towards Fredbin. So a few of those were very legitimately actually necessary because we adore Fredbin, but I'm pretty sure we all know Fredbin is not about that fighting life. So
Golemov is just silently listening, just staring at his desk, and his expression, especially as a Loxodon, is just very difficult to read. And at this point, Jess has pulled out a flask and has just taken several very large drinks of it, and finally says, "I mean, is it really murder? Because, like, there was back and forth, so some of it could have been self-defense. I mean, some of it was self-defense, right?
Right. We killed for the mission.
As much as it pains me to agree with her, and it does in fact very much pain me to agree, they, from our perspective, they kind of attacked out of nowhere. From our perspective, we were in fact, well, I was in fact trying to talk him around, and I don't speak whatever his language was, but all of a sudden it got very aggressive and not the situation deteriorated very, very fast. So we didn't start it, but we finished it.
I mean, I know enough of Minotaur to know he was basically saying, fuck these guys, something like that. It was not serve them cookies, okay? Galamov finally looks up and just kind of slowly looks between the three of you and then just stares at Jess. Like, obviously, the blame is not as much on you as his disappointed dad look is kind of at Jess, and just, he says, how many casualties were there? Jess kind of shrugs and says, I mean, the cleaning crew's got it. They'll tell you the final tally. I didn't really count. I was there for the dragon, which I got. You're welcome. Mission accomplished. We got it to the sanctuary. Lenora is fixing the little bastard up. He woke up, bit the shit out of my finger, and I said goodbye. So, should be fine. Galamov looks at you three. How many would you estimate?
I'd say about 20.
Total?
You killed
As
20
far as-
people?
No, we all killed 20 people.
Okay. Zeroka puts his hand to his head and starts rubbing his head.
No, Miz, I love you, but don't inflate our kill count. As many bodies as we have actually dropped, we do not need to lie about how many we dropped this time. It was maybe total around 10.
Between 10 and 20.
You're completely lying in front of Jess and everyone else who is calling you a liar, Miz.
Oh, I'm not calling a liar. I'm just simply stating that,
Yes,
10 and 20.
you're wrong.
I'm not calling him a liar. I'm calling him mistaken.
He's not mistaken.
It's between 10 and 20.
Simply lying.
And then I kind of put my arm around Zeroka, but like, yeah, but you got half of those, didn't you?
Zeroka swabs his hand and look, and he kind of just like steps forward to Fredben and says,
Fredben's not there.
Or to Galamov.
I'm Galamov.
Yeah.
Galamov, I'm sorry, but I am getting a little peeved right now. Excuse me, is there anything else that we need to report besides, because Miz is starting to get on my nerves?
I can get the details from everyone else if you would like to take your leave. And he reaches into his desk and pulls out your little bags of reward money. And he sets it kind of on the other side of his desk for Zeroka to come and grab if he wants it.
Zeroka simply walks up and he does grab it and he does bow to Galamov and says, "Thank you." And he also says, "And thank you for your help for the mission earlier, Jess. It was much appreciated."
Jess says, I like this guy. He's got manners. And she looks right at Caelyn and Miz as she says this.
Caelyn just
Miz
shrugged.
just gives a grin. Yeah, he just gives a grin.
Yep. Zeroka, you did a good job.
I have manners for those who matter.
Yeah. Well, Zeroka, good job. You exercised restraint. And I appreciate that about you. Go enjoy your reward. I'm sure Fredben gave plenty. I don't know. I didn't count it.
What is it? How much is it exactly?
150 each.
150. Okay. Yeah. So
Hell yeah.
So Zeroka looks and he just
Big money.
puts the little bag in his little backpack and he turns around to Golemov and he says, I appreciate your sincere thanks for this. For the next mission, will it be soon?
It's difficult to say. We're calling you as dragons are found, but seeing as how this dragon was found only a few days from the previous one, perhaps it might be a few days from now, it might be a week, but it's difficult to say. I wish I had some more foresight, but I am not a diviner.
I understand. Well then, if you need me, let me know.
We will, thank you.
Gives a little head nod at Zeroka.
And Zeroka does so as well.
Bye, Zeroka.
And right before he looks, he gives Miz the fucking side eye as he walks out, like very slowly. It's a very slow, like as he looks to the right, and he gives Miz a very slow side eye, and he simply walks out.
Before he walks out, as he passes Miz just smiles like, "I got you, best buddy. Don't worry."
And a growl just like emanates from his throat.
I love the misplaced camaraderie. I love that. I love it.
He's not been socialized. It's fine.
Yeah, he's a little antisocial. He doesn't understand social norms, so just kind of learn as he goes along.
Misplaced intentions.
I fucking. All right, hold on.
I didn't
Where's my
have enough
notebook?
puns
That
this
is a
session.
pun. That is.
I was about to say I
pun.
didn't really have any like straight up planned puns for this session, so because some of my plan was to have Xander here for some stuff, but we'll see what happens without him. Was there anything else Caelyn and Miz wanted to do or say? Like, Golemov will probably continue talking to if you want to talk to him some more. Looks like he got no information yet from Jess. So you can spin whatever tale you want to tell if that is what you desire.
No. Caelyn's is like, Caelyn gave him the important details. We tried, we failed, we murdered, and apparently they're all in the employ of the Black Suns. That was the important bits. And theoretically, 10 to 15 people died. 15, not 20.
Theoretically.
It could be 20. We don't know 100%.
20, actually.
I mean, it must have been a bloodbath when Zeroka's by himself on the other side of the camp. I mean, who knows how many bodies were there?
Caelyn just kind of gives him the side eye. It was, in fact, very funny watching you wind him up. However, you did not kill that many people. I know how good you are. You did not kill that many people.
Oh, I didn't. Of course not. It's not me. And I kind of look at Jess and I was like, well, I will see you again, Jess. Hope to work with you again.
One last thing, you two. It's not the Black Sun. It's the Midnight Sun. And I highly recommend you stay away from them. If they find out you have anything to do with dragons, it's not going to be good. And I can only be so many places at once, so you would have to watch your own backs. And, I'm not sure how good you are at that, if that's your forte as bounty hunters or whatever, but stay away from them. They're bad news.
It's a good thing that none of them know their names. It would suck.
Yeah.
Caelyn's also like, why do you think I've been mispronouncing it as Black Sun and not? So that way it's like, oh, that person is stupid. They don't know what they're talking about if one of us happens to say something in public. I may act a fool, and I probably am, but I'm smarter than that. So, do we need anything else? I have an artificer to go bribe.
I'm going to go check the bounty board.
Priorities.
I guess that's it. I'll finish here with Golemov. cleaners have the rest of everything at the camp, so you'll probably be fine. I mean, none of you used your names, right? While we were there.
No, I pretended to be a member of the Bounty Hunter Guild, and I certainly did not use. Oh my god, did I use my real name? I don't think I did. I don't even think I introduced myself. No, I did. No, I did use a fake name. I vaguely remember that. It was something good and southern.
I mean, it's very probable.
Yeah, no, the whole point was like hiding who we were. So it was like, yeah, no, she.
Yeah, and I mean, you're high charisma. There's no doubt in my mind you would have passed that deception. Just like, as long as they don't know your names, you're probably fine. If they did know your names, you should probably watch out. But as long as you stay anonymous, it's not like you're stupid enough to go shouting your names or anything.
As she says that, Caelyn just kind of blinks into the distance and is like, Ms., you did hear Zeroka introduce himself to that person he was fighting, right?
No, there's no way. You guys were at the front gate. And
y'all were pretty far away.
Impossible.
No. Oh my god, she is lying, y'all. God.
But that's such a convenient lie. Like,
Oh no, this is continuing the giving Zeroka shit. Because he totally murdered everybody and then said I am Montoya Montoya.
Oh, Caelyn's making this up.
If Zeroka never said anything like that, then that never would have been said.
No, she's claiming Zeroka said that just to add to the lies.
Yeah, but I feel like that wouldn't have been said if Zeroka never would have said that about Ms. to Jonathan. I don't know.
I think it's kind of funny. Give me a deception, just for shits and giggles. Give me a deception with this, just for shits and giggles.
For once in my life, I actually have a character who is spec'd into charisma and deception. That is mighty.
Jess just rolls her eyes, and says, "Yeah, of all of you, I'm pretty sure he's the brainiest. So, I mean, I haven't really seen what Xander can do. I don't think he would be stupid enough to introduce himself or use a real name."
Why can't you just let me have my fun, you grumpy bitch? Later, boss dude, and she's just kind of deuces out.
Yeah. Golemov makes sure you all get your rewards, and you are all donezo in there. So, on your way out, though, I will say, so you two are only a little bit behind Zeroka. Is Zeroka just storming off? Like, where did he go?
Oh, Zeroka's going back to his place.
Okay. He would have heard a little bit of a ruckus going on in the tavern connected to the guild HQ. Would he have cared, done anything about it? I'm not going to make the assumption that he did. That was the little thing that I had, but if you don't want to.
So you said he heard it?
So there's the door kind of in, let me move you to that map. In Guild HQ, the tavern that is in the same building connected to the Guild HQ, there's the two swinging doors that were installed out of just sheer convenience because of how many adventurers just go in and out of the tavern anyways. You hear through the doors that there is definitely some kind of commotion going on, probably a fight, something going on in there. But it is up to Zeroka if he would have stopped.
He would have just kind of shortly stopped, just this sort of glance. And do I need to make any check for that, or?
It's up to you. It was a little hook thing that I had for a little extra side thing if you wanted to do it, if you wanted to observe anything like that. It was something for Xander and Ms., so I'm assuming Ms. is probably going to recognize one of the people in there and want to stop, but I'm not going to force Zeroka if he does not want to. But if you want to make a perception check.
If it's nobody who Zeroka notices, if you're saying that, then he's not going to care.
You would hear the voices of a handful of regulars trying to stop or break up some kind of disagreement, brawl, something. There is stuff going on in there,
Oh.
and I mean, there's regulars talking in
Yeah,
there.
if that's
like,
the case, now Zeroka's not going to care.
okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. I'm not going to force you to. So I guess Zeroka leaves. Would so Ms. and Caelyn, on your way out, regulars, Ms., you recognize for sure one voice that is in there. Make a perception check. We'll see how fast you recognize that voice.
Okay. There we go.
Ooh, 21. You immediately recognize the voice. One of the men shouting in this whatever disagreement is loudly happening is a dwarf that you know, Amos Bluntheart. And he's yelling, kind of, you can't see yet through the doors, but you can hear, "Hey, let her try, I'll win all over again. I'm no cheater." And you can hear the voices of the regulars trying to like break up a fight, and what sounds like an unfamiliar woman's voice trying to fight him, your friend.
I am going to stop for a second. I realized the voice immediately, and I'm going to go inside the tavern.
All right. So you head into the tavern. Why is it not lighting up for you? Do you two not have vision? Hang on.
I do not have
You two
vision.
not-
Caelyn is
Why?
going to, because they split at the stairs, and it's just like, oh, for fuck's sake. And it's just going to follow. Not to get involved, but I'm going to keep an eye on his silly little back.
Okay. So, you two head in. You see there are basically two factions here. There is a human woman that is trying to break free of the grip of a gold dragonborn and a Goliath man, both of whom are kind of regulars there and also fellow adventurers. And you see she is sporting a fresh black eye, probably from the night before. She has a green vest on, fiery orange hair, and she just looks like she is itching to fight this guy. And she says, "He's a cheater. Let me go and let me get my rematch. I'll show him for real this time." And Ms., you can immediately tell your friend is kind of tipsy, also wanting to fight. Holding him back is one of the regulars, Vosmubella Magma Brew, a forge cleric and fellow dwarf, is doing her best to hold him back. And one of the humans there, Kevin, one of the rogues there, yes, his name is fucking Kevin. His name Kevin Alstabia, but it's spelled all fancy. You can thank Kyler for that. I was like, I need an NPC, and he gave me that. And both parties are like, the dwarf and the human are trying to fight each other, and both parties are all kind of ignoring the large half-orc man who's trying to calmly broker some kind of peace between the two, despite getting close enough that he is occasionally getting punched more than once with the swinging fists from both Camus and the human woman. And that is the scene that you are walking in on. What do you want to do about it?
I'm gonna walk right up to Blunt Heart as he's like being held back by the other two. I'm gonna slap in the back of the head.
Hey, what the fuck is that for? And he kind of turns and he's like looking, and then he kind of looks up to look up at Ms. And he's like, "Hey, Mr. Stabby!"
You drunk old dwarf! How are you, Blunt-Heart?
"I'm about to show this woman I could beat her any day of the week." And you don't know how, between struggling with the two people, he still manages to deftly pull out a small flask with one hand and kind of like take a little sip of it and only spill like half of a drink down his chin and into his beard. And he offers you the flask.
I take it. And I take a swig as well.
It's shitty whiskey.
That's okay. He's used to it.
Yeah.
And I tell Blunhar's like, well, if you keep fighting, you're gonna get kicked out. Don't you want to sit down and have more drinks?
I tell her not to fight anymore. And kind of looks over and just like gives her the middle finger. And she takes a swing and nearly hits him, but ends up hitting the half-orc man instead, who's just kind of like, come on, let's calm down now. And he's just being complete. And it looks like the woman is the aggressor here.
I try my best to pull Blunthart out, or Miz tries his best to pull Blunthart. Be like, come on, let's have some drinks. There's no need to fight. We gotta catch up. We have a lot to catch up on.
He finally kind of gives up a little bit and lets you drag him off and says, fine. She's just salty anyways. I won that bet fair and square. And kind of motions at the woman who's just angrier than ever now and is like, I'll get you another time then. And she kind of wrestles away from the Dragonborn and Goliath that are holding her back and just storms out the door at this point, kind of giving a middle finger to Camus on her way out.
I guess for me, for Miz, he basically just grabs Blunthart and kind of pushes him on like, yeah, you'll get her next time. Come on, let's have a couple of drinks.
I got her last time too. That's what she's mad about. I told her I could beat her anytime, anywhere in a fist fight, and I did. Talking all shit.
And I basically try to sit him at a table, and I order the barkeep for 2 drinks.
Yeah, the barkeep is just kind of glad that is over. As you all, I'm assuming Caelyn's going with.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely not. The moment she's like, "Oh, cool, this is all resolved," bet, and is just going to promptly wave Miss down, be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go," and is going to promptly vacate the area because it's like, cool, he doesn't need me. It's like I don't want no part of this, and I've got shit to do. So,
okay. Yeah, the other patrons eventually disperse back to their normal tables and all of that. The poor half-orc going to the barkeep to get some ice for one of his arms that got punched pretty bad. Everything kind of settles down now. And Camus says, hey, so what's going on with you? I was just doing a good job looking out for the guild, and she didn't want to keep up her end of the bed, and that's on her. She's a sore loser,
Sure. Reminds me of the last time we met, when you got into that other fist fight at the tavern.
I mean, I know what I'm good at, but hey, this time it's for a good reason, because, I saw her sparring with someone else, and I thought to myself, this is what I thought. I thought, hey, the guild needs more people like her. I bet she could use some money, her gear kind of looked not great, she could use some more money. That's what I thought to myself. And so I challenged her. She was talking all kind of game, and I said to her, if I win, you gotta join the guild. I honestly don't remember what I bet if I lost, but I won, and that part, and I didn't cheat.
So you're part of a guild now.
I was told I could pick up some extra money here and there, with the mining and stuff. I know a lot of the different routes up north, and I don't know if you've heard, there's a manticore problem up there, and the guild is kind of desperate for people that, aren't gonna just get fucking killed by manticore and know their way around up there. So I said, I thought to myself, I could use some extra money, and all I gotta do is walk. So I thought to myself, that's a pretty sweet deal. So that's what I did. I went to the guild, and I said, hey, I'll take a piece of that action, and started guiding some of their people, and, I met some of the other people here, and they're not bad. They're not bad, It's good money, too. Manticores, they're pretty easy to dodge if you're not stupid. You're not stupid. You've probably dodged plenty of manticores.
Of course I have.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. All you got to do is hide, A little harder when you got a whole village trying to evacuate and stuff because of, the big manticore problem up there. But, hey, I haven't lost anyone on my route. The other routes, they've lost some people. But that wasn't on me. It's
Well,
easy money. Easy money. You should try it sometime. Just volunteer, go up north, get you a big old guild jacket, and you just walk people.
maybe it might take you up on your offer. That's pretty simple.
I mean, it's probably a lot easier than all your bounty hunting stuff. You don't even have to find anyone. It's, I bet dodging is a lot easier than finding.
Truth be told, the bounty hunter stuff, it's been kind of slow lately. Haven't really gotten enough bounties around here yet.
It is what it is. And he kind of looks around, makes sure nobody else at the nearby tables are paying much attention, and kind of leans in a little bit closer and lowers his voice, and he says, I mean, the problem probably is a lot of the petty criminals are finding other work at other organizations, if you know what I mean. I'm sure you're in the know. You know all about that, though. You're a smart guy, Miz. Kind of laughs and slams his drink on the table. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I start laughing. Miz starts laughing. Yeah, I know what you mean. But why don't you let me know which ones?
Oh, those not light people. You know what I'm talking about with they got the money and the stupid the arm thingies with the blue, and it's easy money, but it's boring. Like someone was trying to get me to join, and it's just a lot of standing around guarding if you're just the bottom of the ranks. That's where a lot of them are going, because I'm not criminal, so I don't know all of the underground stuff, but friend of a friend of a friend said a lot of the criminals are trying to make the easier money. If they've got information on stuff, that's where they're going, and they're selling it there. And you didn't hear it from me. Kind of leans in and gets quiet again, because his voice has slowly risen as he's been talking, and he gets quiet again, and he says, I've heard some of them are going for the real stupid criminals, and them guys getting charmed. But then they stay because the money's easy, and nobody's arresting them because they see the bracer and they just forgive a pickpocket or two. Kind of bullshit, if you ask me. I'm not into that sort of thing, but it's kind of bullshit.
I agree. That's why I'm not doing it. But for curiosity's sake, who approached you?
It was some guy. I was kind of vacationing down where it was a lot sunnier, and oh my gosh, I forgot the name of the place. This is me. This is Abby talking, not him. Down in Misthold, there's a bar I go to on occasion down there, and some of their guys go there. I overheard them talking, and they were talking kind of loud, and one of them started talking to me, and kind of a snobby fellow, and the moment I said anything about mining, he kind of just left, which was, good riddance to him. All he wanted to talk about was how his dad was some top carriage salesman or some shit. Kind of spits in the spittoon I've decided exists there. Fucking snooty rich people. I'm out here making an honest living, and they're out there charming people and stuff, and don't always talk quiet about it. But I mean, I guess the people they're charming still get paid at the end of the day, but seems kind of shady to me.
Miz takes his glass and says, "Right, they're assholes," and then he takes another drink.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you, with your bounty hunting and your guild adventures and all that, you know all about them people. I'm sure they're warning everyone. Kind of looks around. And it's like they are warning people, right?
I wouldn't say so.
I mean, nobody at the guild is telling guild members not to go get fucking charmed and shit. Because, like, enchantments aren't always the easiest things to break. You gotta have the good. It's easy for me with the good wits in the mind about me, but, not everyone here. And he kind of glances around and looks at, like, the Goliath and a couple of the other regulars here, especially the human guy over there. Not everyone's as smart as we are.
Right. No, I mean, not to me specifically. Maybe the guild has, but not to me.
Well, surely it's just a matter of time until they put up posters or something. But what about you? I'm assuming you just got back from a mission or something. He kind of looks Miz up and down. Does Miz have blood on him still? I'm assuming there was some blood splatter at some point.
I mean, he was injured, so I would assume that would show up. Yeah.
You look like you just got back from some kind of exciting something. My bad for just going on. Tell me everything about what you just did. I'm sure it was super fun. Looks like you got some stabbing in, right?
I would say more or less. I mean, just put it to make a long story short. Some people didn't want to play ball, and they were bad people. They didn't want to give up, and things have to be done.
Come on now. We're buddies having a drink. Spare no detail. I want to hear all about it. Where were you? What's the nitty gritty? How many asses did you kick? Why did you kick their asses? Come on, I want to hear about it. We're here getting drinks. Let's talk about it. I got all day.
And I tell him, I says, this particular mission is a little more secret, so I need to keep this on a down low.
Yeah, I mean, who's your buddy gonna tell? And he kind of leans forward and finally gets quiet again. I'm real good at keeping secrets. He kind of puts a finger up to his lips.
Yeah, I know you are, but I got a different mission to tell you. A farmer, which we have to go out and investigate some type of like animal beast that was attacking his farm or his livestock or something like that. And yeah, apparently we found some monster, a couple of goblins in the forest, and the pixie too, a really bad pixie with a big attitude.
The pixies will get you, They got the attitude these days, especially the young ones. But is that where you were doing all the stabbing and the slashing? You look like you got blood all over you. Give me the details. I want the details.
All right. And I mean, I don't know if I have to roll deception for this, but basically, Miz is gonna tell like kind of like a fairy tale about exactly what happened.
Yeah, give me a deception with advantage.
All right. Well, I didn't roll with advantage, but I got a 23, so I don't think I need to roll again.
23.
Yeah.
Thomas is hanging on to every word. He believes all of it. He is your buddy, your pal. He's excited for you. You're doing missions, you're winning, you're successful. Believes every word of it. He has no reason not to. As far as he knows, you've never lied to him. I mean, he asks more questions for clarifications, so you've got to clarify a few other things. Dig that hole of lies a little bit deeper. But as he drinks more, you're pretty sure he's probably not going to remember all the details anyways later.
I was actually about to say that. I was like, can we drink to the point that he gets black?
Oh,
I mean, he's already been drinking, so I don't have to
yeah.
get drunk for him to get messed up.
Yeah, he's gonna egg you on to drink a little bit more, so you are not leaving any less than tipsy, but you believe he's good and drunk to the point where you probably need to escort him to a room at some point. But he has a grand old time. Loves catching up with his buddy.
Of course, same here. Miz feels the same way, especially since it's been a few years.
Absolutely. And he catches you up on some stuff. He's been doing, some stuff with the guild every, here and there, but mostly recently he has been helping with the Manticore. You learn that there are a lot of Manticores up in the north, and the guild has been employing different people, and they've been reached out to evacuate villages because the manticores are just killing people up there. And there's usually not that many manticores in one place. Territories usually don't overlap that much, but they are aggressive and they seem plentiful, and it is odd. And the guild is trying to figure out why and also get people to safety because they're just killing people, and it seems to be in excess of what they are eating. So the guild thinks there's something extra there. Kamas is just there for the money. As a miner, he can deal with terrain pretty easy all through the mountains and everything to get people out of there. But it does not sound fun. Escorting people through the mountains in the snow, dodging manticores and shit. It does not sound fun, but Kamas, he likes the money from it, and he does not end up covered in mining debris, and he gets to be in the sunlight. So it's good it's his version of a vacation where he gets paid.
Right, yeah. For him, it's better than mining.
Yeah. So, were there any other questions you wanted to ask him before we move on?
Miz is just gonna ask him how long is he gonna stay in the capital for before he heads up north to take a request.
He only plans on staying another day or two before he takes on another evacuation. He was kind of just catching his second wind down there, resting because his legs hurt, socializing with people who are not miserable villagers, leaving behind potentially their entire lives and having some fun before he goes back up.
Okay. Miz asked where's he staying at?
That's a good question that I didn't think that far ahead. There's
an inn.
Yeah, he's at the Minor Inn down the road. It's okay. It's just okay. Yeah, he's a minor. It is especially they have a lot of rooms that are for dwarves with more dwarf friendly furniture and everything, and because of that it's a little bit cheaper because everything is smaller. So he gets a good deal staying there because not everything is human or elf size. So it's not bad.
Okay. After this, Miz doesn't have any more questions. He's just kind of, they just start rambling, cracking jokes, whatever. But nothing of value comes up again or substance.
Okay. So I think this is a good time to take our halfway break, and I am going to do something different than what we have done in the past. With this, I'm gonna say everyone. I mean, if you want to do something with the remainder of your day, please let me know. But I had something for nightfall that I was going to message everyone what happens during your long rest. I was going to message everyone individually.
Cool. Caelyn is going to do what you do. Very promptly, go see the artificer, flirt as much as possible because, of course, she is. Bribe her to get to work on that fancy new weapon that she wants, of which we've already communicated.
Yeah, give me those persuasion checks. Give me 2 persuasion checks.
Do I have advantage because I bribed her with tea?
Yeah, you have advantage. We discussed what we were. Oh my gosh, I'm assuming it's good.
Well, you said 2, right?
Yeah, give me 2. I guess both can be with advantage.
That is 18 for one of them. And Math 15 for the other one.
You've successfully convinced her. Not top of the list, but next couple of days, gonna get something. Not gonna be immediately though.
Caelyn is going to very promptly. I love you. I love you. I appreciate you. This is why you are totally one of my favorites.
Wait, one of your favorites? Wait, I thought this was.
It is. No, I messaged you something really quick. I messaged you something really quickly because I didn't want to spoil it yet. See, this is why I love you. This is why you're one of my favorites, and appreciate you. Kisses her cheek and then promptly leaves. The other idolizers are like,
Okay. Yeah. She just kind of rolls her eyes at you as you leave. But there's a smile on her face.
She's totally into me. Yes, I'm having fun with this. I love you.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is message. Basically, well, wait. What does everyone else want to do with their evening? I know. You wanted to check the bounty boards. I'll come up with some leads I can kind of give you. On a couple little things. I didn't have anything prepped, but we'll say you can start information gathering on a few little ones. But I don't know if there's anything else specific for Ms.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. And what about Zeroka? I feel like poor Zeroka's been sidelined for a bit now.
He's not doing anything besides just meditating in his room, studying some wizard books. That's it.
And telling himself,
I did not hit her.
I did not murder them. I did not. Oh, hi, Miss.
Oh, hi, Mark. Hi, Miss. Let me see here. I'm gonna message everyone kind of what happens during your long rest as everyone is kind of going to bed that night. I know all of you in here, well, I guess Ms. is technically a human, so bear with me. I'm going to operate under the assumption you, as elves, would also like to dream. So I gotta think for just Zeroka.
Oh, okay.
That's why Keo and Sandy have jumped into the other channel for a minute.
Cool.
So it is later that evening, before your long rest. You hear a voice coming from your pocket and realize it is Fredbin. And you hear him say, "Pardon me, Zeroka. Can you hear me?"
Zeroka looks down. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, as you look through your pockets, you realize somehow, at some point, a very small sending stone has made its way into one of your pockets. That is where Fredbin's voice is coming from.
Gotcha. So Zeroka does look down and he says, "Oh, Fredbin, is that you?"
Yes, hello. My apologies for not being more upfront and handing you the sending stone earlier, but I wasn't sure what level of trust I had with everyone. So I had Nanas decide who to trust with the sending stone, and he chose you for some reason. Do you have a moment to speak?
Yes, I do. Please let me know what's the matter.
Well, nothing is really the matter. Are you by yourself, by chance?
I am.
Good. Well, I suppose if you would be willing, I'd like to ask a favor of you. And you'd be compensated, of course, but I would need discretion. Would this be something you possibly would be interested in?
Well, if it's for the guild, sure.
Not quite. I need to find out more information on the dragons. I need to know where they are coming from, how, why they are coming back now, and I need someone I can trust to not ask a bunch of questions I can't answer just yet. Any dragons being found are being safely transported to the sanctuary, yes, but I need to speak to them first. Would you be able to call me upon the discovery of the next, if any, dragons, so I may be able to come speak with them? It would, of course, just be questioning them, not any kind of harm or tests or anything of that nature. I really just want information, and then they can, of course, go on their way safe and untouched to the sanctuary. Would this be agreeable?
So you simply just want to talk to them, just to understand exactly, just to get to know exactly why they're coming about? Is that all?
Yes, the dragons have been gone, as you know, for well over 250 years now, and the fact that they are reappearing is troubling, to say the least. Not necessarily bad or anything like that, but it's quite puzzling how. And um, I, am not one of the privileged few allowed to go to the sanctuary to ask them myself, so I was just trying to get some more information. Nothing bad or anything like that, just trying to figure out what is happening, why, what is going on, what has changed.
Does Golemov know about this?
I would rather keep this a little bit quieter. I'm not quite ready to share my theories and reasoning just yet. Golemov, I believe, is a good person, but I don't want to raise any alarms yet. I don't want to worry anyone with what I may or may not find. Hopefully it's benign. I don't know yet. I don't want to raise any alarms, cause any panic.
And you're saying you can't trust Ms. or Caelyn? What about Xander?
I kind of left this up to Nanas to decide, and if, this works out, on down the line, if you choose to trust them, I suppose I've already told you what I'm hoping to accomplish. So if you wanted to trust them as well, you can, but the fewer people, the less panic if this turns out to be something not benign. But I'm just trying to make sure, potentially for the safety of the realms, don't want to cause any panic if it is bad. I'm hoping it's not, though. But also, I have no answers if it's not bad. So it kind of doesn't look great, I suppose.
It's going to be difficult to not look suspicious if you do decide to talk to them before.
Do you think we can trust the other three?
I mean, they're going to be wondering why you're going to want to talk to the dragon before we send them off to the sanctuary. And if Jess is there, that's also going to be suspicious as well. She may raise an eyebrow to that.
Yes. I wanted your opinion on how much we can trust all of them with that sort of thing. I mean, Jess is another matter entirely. I can handle her, but I am able to, alter memories to a point if you think that it would be more dangerous for them to be in the know, or if you think they're going to ask too many questions. I would pay them, of course, put nice little memory there instead, but I just don't want too many people knowing because it would look bad, I think, on me. If you think we can trust them, that is different, but
I don't
I have
really
not spent
know
time with them.
that well. I do think that they may be trustworthy. Not sure about Miz, though. He seems to have his own agenda.
Then, if you think there might not be a way for this to happen discreetly without them knowing, perhaps, I would compensate you for your time if you do get to know them better, see if you can trust them, and then call me after that. I don't know if 5 gold a day would be enough. 10? 15? To get to know them?
Here's what I'll do. I'll decide to talk to them and ask them do you mind if I sort of sort of put your name in terms of you wanting to know about the dragon before we send them off to the sanctuary. Is that something that you are fine with them knowing?
Yes. And then I suppose let me know. I don't like altering people's memories, but if you think they're going to panic at that idea, or if you think it would have a negative impact long term, I really would like to conduct some research of my own and see what is going on, because I don't know where the dragons are coming from, and something has kept them away for centuries, and now they're coming back. It could be a pretty big deal.
And I must ask, why did you come to me again?
I let Nanas choose, but also I was leaning towards you as a fellow wizard. I don't know. I just had a feeling you were a fellow intellectual and wizard, and you would understand a little bit better than everyone else would. They all seem a little bit more rough and tumble, I suppose.
I see. I will say this conversation stays between us, but I will ask them their opinion on and see if they care or whatnot. But it'll be difficult for you to talk to the dragons, like I said, if Jess is there.
Yes, I'm aware, and that is why I was hoping you would be willing to call me before Jess if she's not already there. I don't know how amenable she would be to allowing me to speak with them before transporting them. I do want their safety, of course. If it's a dangerous situation, of course get them out of there first, Perhaps there will be more later, but, dragon safety first, then information.
Understood. I'll talk to the group, see what their opinion is, and I'll get back to you.
That would be much appreciated. And again, you will be compensated for this. And if I can help with anything else, please just let me know.
Sure thing.
All right, well, good evening, Zeroka. I hope you rest well.
And a good evening to you.
Thank you. And the connection cuts off. Does Zeroka do anything, say anything? What are his ponderings after that?
So his first ponderings is he kind of like rubs his head, and then he starts thinking about the dream that he had, and he starts like muttering to himself, "Trust," and he's like sort of thinking, he's like,
She felt so real. What's the correlation? Never mind.
and he goes back and he starts thinking about what he's going to tell the group about what Fredman said.
Okay.
And so I guess that is it. The next day, I'm assuming, obviously, right?
Yeah. Now we would be going to the next day and kind of, if there's anything you want to share privately, I was kind of just gonna see what people were doing after everyone got messaged a different thing.
Gotcha. Yeah.
If there's
Zeroka's not going to do anything on other than the fact that he's going to get ready to prepare to like sort of bring up that Fredman wants to talk to the dragons on the next before we message anyone else.
Okay, I will pop them back in here. Hey, we're back at it again with the white vans.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
So, everyone got messaged something different. What happened during their long rest? Zeroka didn't really do anything too different. What is everyone doing the next day after this? How is everyone being affected? Let's go with Ms. first, unless you need more time to ponder.
No, Miz just kind of gets up, does his normal routine, basically, gets ready for the day, eats breakfast, whatever. And, in a bit, he decides to start heading out to the, first he's going to collect the rent. That's first. And then he's going to head out to the tavern, the inn, tavern, the guild one, I'm saying, guild.
To which guild?
Our guild. I forgot the name.
Adventurers Guild.
Yep,
Okay.
Adventurers Guild.
All right. So, I mean, there's coming to some of the usuals there. Camus is probably there. A little bit of hair of the dog. the next day. Let me see. I don't think all of the usuals are going to be there. We'll bump some other people out of the main tavern area. Is there anyone specific you wanted to talk to or anything like that?
No, not necessarily. He figured he'll just wait at the guild and see if a new job comes up or if anyone else shows up.
Okay. What about Caelyn?
Caelyn is going to continue the mystique going. She promptly woke up her bedmate, and had a very long conversation because she was kind of shaken by whatever the fuck that was. Because she is a warlock, so it's she's used to like weird dreams and mysterious things happening because warlocks get their magic from a patron. She's never really known who her patrons were, or patron is, are, what have you. So just like, cool. That was the thing that was the thing that happened. I did not like it, and I did not. Then she's just gonna go about the day as if nothing had happened. But it's still just kind of just like.
Do you describe the whole dream in its entirety, or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Definitely get some concern there from your bedmate. The bedmate, who I'm assuming is, I'm assuming I know who that is. Said person. There's definitely some empathy there. Can't really sympathize because that is not something that's ever happened to them. There's concern for sure. Because I don't know. Did you tell them about the other dream that Caelyn had? Yeah. So that's weird thing number 2. So there's definitely more concern this time.
Don't like that.
Pondering if this is going to happen more often. What does it mean? They might look into that and see if that is something that they need to be concerned about, something you might need to be concerned about. But definitely leave that day knowing that someone is concerned for you. And, doesn't mean your project is going to get bumped up, but there's concern for you. So what is your day? Are you also going to the guild?
She's going to, in lieu of anything else, is going to go grocery shopping, because eating out is expensive, and she would like to buy a house. So, living the dream. God, don't you just love how that's like a goal for people in games? I just want to buy a house, man. So, stuff to like continue making her food.
Relatable. Okay. All right. I wasn't sure if you were trying to bump into anyone on your day off or not, or if anyone was seeking out the others, because you all have earrings that work within the city. You can all contact each other if you want. I'm not going to force it, but
Caelyn is going to 100% start the day with Zeroka. Zeroka, why did you murder all those people?
Who is she talking to? I'm not even there.
Earrings.
Y'all still have, unless you don't wear yours.
No, I probably don't. I didn't even know we had communication earrings.
You did, yeah. That's how you are all communicating in the last mission.
I'm glad I'm making this into a meme. That Zeroka's just a ruthless killer.
Zeroka, the murderer. So Zeroka would for sure take the earring out. Are you sure?
I mean, why would I have them on when I'm sleeping? I mean, I'm not even like, yeah, like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I was just talking to like that person.
Yeah.
In the morning, so I don't think I would be having them on while I'm speaking to.
Yeah. That's fair. I will say your guild emblems kind of can function as communicators if you want them to. I was going to wait and upgrade them and give a bunch of fancy stuff, but if you want, they can I'll say they can work like beepers and send little messages. If you are, if you've been partied up with someone, you would know their little code to send, and you can send brief messages to each other.
Caelyn is still going to send that message to him in the morning.
Yeah, so a little
And-
screen on the back of your emblem lights up when you read it. What does it say?
Zeroka, why did you murder so many people? And she just, because we don't have in like ASCII. No, we're just gonna do the XD. the old school emotes, or whatever the in universe.
I've decided there are emojis now.
This is a
Why
thing
not?
we get to have now, and 100% send the message with like a sarcastic email making fun. But how could you murder someone?
Does Zeroka respond?
Nope.
Of course he doesn't. But Caelyn promptly goes and gets her morning coffee, because she knows where Miss is going to be. And it's
Cool. Y'all meet up in the tavern?
mhm.
All right. Y'all meet up in the tavern for some morning coffee. There are a couple other teams there. Well, there's a few other people. It's kind of early morning. Really, besides a couple of randos. Why is that not moving? Go away. There we go. There's only one other team. You do notice, once again, there is a bard, kind of in the corner playing, real shitty music, but it's quieter because it's morning, and you're not sure if there's some sort of enchantment making him quieter because he was definitely not that quiet last time. And that is a bard named Nick, created by Becky. Full name Nick L. Bach. Singing a song about phonographs. Waiting for Kyo to get it. Waiting for the rage.
Why are you like this?
This was a Becky, okay? Shout out to Becky.
No shout outs to Becky. Why are you trying to hurt me? Have I not been a cooperative player?
You know what's fun.
No.
You don't like the puns? This one was a Becky one. So that is, she drew the token itself in the bottom right corner of the tavern there.
Well, I can't
Art by
see the
Becky.
tavern. It's all black to me.
Why? It shouldn't be black anymore. You should be able to see. I thought you were able to see.
Well, I wasn't involved in the. Okay, there it is. I can see now.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I thought you were able to see this entire
I had to
fucking time.
It's fine. I wasn't in. So that you said the bottom right.
Yeah. That's art by Becky. You can follow her at on Twitter at @sugarpuns.
No wonder you're friends.
Yeah.
Caelyn's is kind of wired. I hate happiness. People. Too early.
Becky was part of the previous group, by the way. But yeah, so y'all got your coffee. Is there anything specific you want to discuss? Dreams, anything like that?
Which one is Becky? You said this one.
Becky is Sugar Puns, I believe, on most of her social media, Twitch.
No, on the token.
Oh, on the token, bottom right.
Okay.
She has the full art. So
Yeah, you
I
said
will
these are a
find the
bunch of
full art.
furries right here.
Yes. So over here is an owl Aarakocra, a Black Panther tabaxi, whom none of you have ever heard really speak a word. He just kind of is there, and seems to be kind of more of the protector role. Like, he's a little bit bigger, a little bit more muscular. The smaller tabaxi there that looks like a caracal, she looks to be probably a little sorcerer, wearing kind of like pinks and shades of that, and just seems very sweet. The Aarakocra is a ranger, and you can kind of tell from their armor and everything, and has a very unique laugh, and seems to enjoy telling jokes and stuff, and seems to get along with pretty much everyone there. Very helpful ranger. If you've probably heard people get directed to her if they need help tracking and stuff. One of the best trackers in the guild. But they seem to be a team. You seem to see them always together. They look a little tired this morning, and they are very quietly discussing something from the night before. But it is up to you guys if you wanted to try to listen on anything.
Caelyn will do so, not obviously, but just kind of like head down into the cup of coffee, just like as she's like trying to listen in.
Miz is just gonna stare.
Miz is gonna stare.
Yes.
Caelyn's gonna just grab his head and just push it. No! Stop being rude. It's too early.
No, Miz is gonna stare.
Too early for this.
Miz doesn't do the same thing. He's just staring. That's all.
You hear tidbits. They're not trying to speak too loudly. It's mostly the Tabaxi and the Aarakocra talking. Again, you don't hear the bigger Tabaxi man saying anything. He's just kind of there. But you hear little snippets. Apparently the job that they had been on yesterday, that they were sent to midday, was taxing and a little bit stressful, and they wonder what the team that was there before them was doing, because, that's not usually how the guild does things. And they're wondering, this wasn't something that they were expecting when they heard it was a newer team that was on this job. And they were kind of surprised to see everyone kind of from the same organization there. And they start talking a little bit about how it's troubling that that organization that they're not naming is getting so big. And the little Tabaxi kind of laments just very quietly, I wonder how many of them were charmed that didn't make it. You kind of gather this is in Shroudmire, based off of some of the information you're gleaning, which is where you were yesterday, which where their mission was yesterday. They seem to be talking about a camp. And the more you listen, the more it sounds like Jess had mentioned cleaners the day before. This might have been the team that went in after you. And the only reason, they're being pretty discreet, the only reason you are able to glean any of this information is because you kind of put together the puzzle pieces. They don't name the organization. They don't name a lot of details, anything that, if anyone else were to be listening in, they would have no clue what they're talking about. But you all putting together the pieces. It raises the question, how many people were charmed that you killed? Because especially to Miz, after talking with Kamas the day before, sounds like this organization likes to charm people into working for them. So not everybody there seems to be working of their own free will, which seems to be how this group is growing so much, so quickly.
As a side note, in Miz's head, he's thinking, well, shouldn't be charged in the first place.
Just victim blaming. That's great. Their fault for getting in Zeroka's way.
Yeah.
Zeroka's totally the murderer.
Yeah. Then pissed off Zeroka so much that he wouldn't have murdered him.
It is I, Zeroka, who will make you rue this day. Having the audacity to get in my... Caelyn's is going to quietly just continue drinking her coffee, just as she... Fuck!
After staring at that table for that conversation, Miz just turns around and goes back to drinking his coffee, too.
Yeah, you feel the eyes of the Black Panther Tabaxi just staring at you. As soon as you turn your head, you can feel him just kind of glaring at you at this point. Like, he knows you've been listening in. He's kind of daring you to say anything. Almost.
Well, Miz was never planning on saying anything. He just wanted to know what's going on and just did want to make it very secretive, really open.
Yeah.
If you want to talk stuff in the public, you can talk stuff, and I'm just gonna...
Like I said, Miz has not the best social cues, so he awkwardly just stares at that group and then turns around.
Yeah. They're only there a moment longer before you hear him just kind of loudly sigh, and then you hear the shuffle of their chairs as it seems he's signaled them and they all kind of depart and leave the tavern without another word.
So as I see this, Zeroka, as he walks in, does he know? He noticed that they leave. That they leave, right? Because he hasn't sat down with me.
Yeah, you would see them kind of walking out the door, and the Tabaxi man kind of looks down at Zeroka. Like, now that he is standing up, he is probably about 6'5", 6'6", just
Mhm.
all lean muscle, kind of intimidating with his stare just a little bit. Kind of looks at Zeroka, not menacingly, but just kind of like taking him in, like he's gonna remember what you look like later, kind of thing. And
Wait, for what? I just walked through the door. I wasn't even saying
but you
anything.
also see he's kind of done that with everyone, though.
Oh,
Like
okay.
you see him kind of looking at Caelyn and Miz in the same way, just like he's information gathering as they leave.
Okay, I just like
Just
walked through
like,
the door.
I'm not
I
gonna
just see
forget
this.
these motherfuckers. These people were here on this day at this time, like that kind of thing.
Zeroka kind of looks at. He's just like, sort of shakes his head as he walks through, and he kind of like looks to the right and he sees Caelyn and Miz, and he like walks up to them and he says,
A word, if you will.
I will say, in contrast, the little Tabaxi kind of gives you a smile and a wave as she walks out.
"Oh, I don't wake back."
Yeah,
The
that's fine.
furries.
Grumpy bitch.
Polar
Caelyn,
opposites.
Caelyn is still like just her head is resting on the table and just goes, "You had 5 words, but if you would like to use more, go ahead."
Yes, so Fredbin has a request, if you will. He wishes on the
has a
next
request of
mission that
us.
whenever we find dragons, that he wishes to speak to them before we message Jess or anybody else. He simply wants to ask them questions. That is all.
Well, I do believe I trust Fredman more than I trust Jess, so I am not opposed.
Do you oppose to this, Miss?
No, as long as I get paid.
And Xander?
Zeroka looks around. Zeroka looks around and he's like,
I'll follow the details with him once I see him. But that is all Fredbin has asked me about. Not sure if he asked you as well.
He hasn't asked us as well, but yeah, if he told you, that's fine. As long as we get paid.
I am down for any way or reason to piss off Jess even more. So
Well, they can't know about this apparently. Apparently Fredbin isn't on the... He's not under the certain authority to ask certain questions, but he's asking us if before we actually do anything or send the dragon off, he can just simply talk to them. We will have full discretion in terms of hearing what he wants to ask them. However, he simply wishes that they do not know.
and hearing that, Caelyn will just kind of roll her head over and just like still laying her head down, just looking at him from the table. Considering our previous conversation, do you trust him? Or do you trust me?
I was going to ask you the same thing. Do you trust Fredman? Or do you trust Jess? Or Golemov?
Caelyn actually sits up now and is just like, and just kind of stares at the bard. Does the bard look like they're listening? Or are they just quietly playing?
The bard is kind of far enough away. If you're talking quietly, he's got his lute going, so he probably can't hear you, and he is just super into himself and his music at the moment, and nobody else is close enough.
Cool, bard. And Caelyn is just, trust is a very, very strong word. However, I do not have as many misgivings about his motives than I do about what we talked about previously. The only thing I worry about is I know his type, the very smart type who just wants to learn and know and do in ways that don't always end well in terms of oh, but I just want to study it. And that leaving it around to study it ends up, destroying the world. So that is the only misgivings.
From what he's told me, he simply wants to ask the dragons, like, why are they coming about at this time? Now, seems as though he's more worried than anything. Though I doubt the dragons would know exactly why they would know that they're simply spurning around.
That is the only misgivings I have about his type. But I trust his motive. But it is more just the nosy, intelligent type who is willing to allow something to be detrimental. So that is the only misgiving. Otherwise, quite frankly, he is kind of a coward.
Miss, does your short sword of warning, does it glow around him? Or only around Jess?
Out of character. I'm assuming since you didn't say anything, it did not, like, the short sword warning didn't do anything around him, right? Just
Nope.
Jess, right? Okay.
Nope. Just Jess. Fredbin did not set off anything. And he didn't seem to have any kind of bloodlust in battle, more of keeping his lunch down, which he failed to do.
Okay. Ms. Zen tells Zeroka, no, he didn't give any warning off. Jess does, though, which is to be expected. But no, he didn't give any warning. Didn't seem any bloodthirsty or threatening.
Well, whatever his plan is, if he seems as though he's sort of planning something.
And Zeroka kind of puts up like a half smirk.
If he tries anything, let's just say we'll have to deal with it.
You mean you are going? Do you not know who he is, or more specifically, what he is?
Zeroka looks at her and he says,
Did you not hear what I said? He's asking if all of us have the cooperation. If he seems as though that he wants to betray or does anything out of the ordinary, we all will have to pay the price.
Based on the things that you were theoretically talking about, like vision, he is one of the most preeminent magic users alive. If that is the route, if that is the route that you are going to try to take, I'm going to caution you now. You will need to strike hard and strike fast and kill him very, very quickly. And even then, we're probably not going to succeed. I'm just throwing that out there.
I never said anything about killing him, man.
I said dealing with him. If that is the thing that you are going to do, be aware. Just a friendly warning from me to you. Think of it as a gift. Free knowledge. I've given it everyone.
And what would you do if he betrayed everyone? Would you just simply sit down and watch?
Depending. I would live. And try again when the situation is...
So what you're saying is eventually you're going to have to deal with him, right?
No. I'm saying, if it gets to that point, I'm going to live.
Interesting.
You may see it as, it is cowardice. You don't decide what you want to do. No. I just pick my battles that facilitate me live. I'm not eager to die anytime by deciding it is a good...
So back to the point. Do you wish for him to speak to the dragons or not?
I said I don't care. I do not have as many misgivings about his motive as I do about the thing that we talked about before. I am ambivalent and really do not care. I am much like Miss. I am here to get paid.
As am I. But like I said before, if anything arises, then just be on your guard.
Goes back to her coffee, just like, for plot.
I'll relay him the news that will allow him to speak to the dragons before we call anyone else. Do you agree, miss?
Sure. As long as we get paid.
Indeed.
and that is all Zeroka will do.
Okay. I mean, there is other information that Ms. and Caelyn kind of gathered, and it's up to you if you want to share any of that with Zeroka now. Because I was going to kind of leave it after this, because it's getting late, and then next session, I don't want to start the next mission without Ian here.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
But I will.
2 more weeks.
I will make sure that there's combat next time, though. I had some more stuff planned, but
No,
that
this is
encounter
fine.
was gonna potentially have combat in it, but that was
We had a war with words.
you did have a war with words. It was very fun, but there was gonna be more stuff to kickstart potential combat because the woman that was instigating that fight was from Xander's backstory. So there was gonna be other stuff that could have potentially happened that might have satisfied your combat lust a little bit more, but next time. Yeah. I mean, continue what you're doing now. I interrupted, sorry.
Well, no. Considering Zeroka is starting plots too early in the morning, can't really say nothing. I have barely finished my fucking coffee, and this motherfucker is already in my face talking about shady shit. I don't care.
Shady shit. He just simply told you what he said, what he was told. There's nothing. He's not plotting anything.
Zeroka just always sounds threatening, no matter what. By default, usually just fucking suspicious.
This is why you're the murderer.
This is 100% why you're the murderer. Like, it's like you just sound threatening all the time, and like you're plotting something, and Caelyn's just like, "Fam, it is too early morning for this. I'm just trying to drink with my model."
Hey. Yeah, Caelyn hasn't even ordered her mimosa yet. Like,
right? It is too early in the morning for plots, and here this fucker is plotting and ruined my good day. Caelyn. I mean, actually, no. As far as Caelyn concerned, that information isn't relevant outside of that group is apparently charming motherfuckers. Actually, no. You know what? Fuck it. Caelyn's just like, so apparently a lot of the people that theoretically might have been charmed into doing it and not wanting to do it out of their own free will. How does that make you feel, you murderer?
Zeroka kind of just like looks at her like, are you like, do you not care about what you did?
If someone tries to attack me, I don't care why they're doing it. I'm going to stop them. Again, I would like to live, which means I come before all of that.
So the lives of those people are simply mere of a joke to you. Is that it?
Joke is a strong word.
Well, assuming how you put the blame on me, that's how you're putting it.
Of course. No, it is not a joke per se, so much as, no. My life comes first.
Then stop playing around, blaming me when you and Ms. killed those people.
Whoa, now there.
You're such a murderer, though. You did.
I mean, we saw you, Ms. We saw you, Ms. And I started repeating my name to myself for some odd reason.
Yeah, we saw you, Ms.
Yes, Ms. was the one who killed everyone.
Yes, Ms.
Hello, Ms. And, because I actually went back and I looked at some of the notes, and it's like, oh, that's the name that was given. Okay.
Yeah. I forgot that. I wouldn't know anything about that, so forget about that. I forgot I'm kind of metagaming right now.
Yes,
well, no. We also all had those the earrings on the entire mission. Because that's how we were communicating. Because that's how we were communicating with.
They're only activated when you want them to activate. So, like, unless Zeroka wanted to say that, yeah.
Forget what I said. I was metagaming for a second. I was like, wait, no, I didn't hear shit. I wouldn't know. I can't say it. Yeah, I'm just gonna believe Zeroka. Yeah, I saw you, Zeroka.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, yeah, you're Ms. You just called me Ms. How about you?
Oh, no, that's just retcon. I was metagaming. I was just saying that. Oh, it's okay, Zeroka. Even though you're a bloodthirsty killer, I still like you.
That's the guy who loved the color of blood.
I mean, at least I admit it. But you're a ruthless bastard. I know that for sure. I can see it in you.
Ooh.
But I like it. I like that about you, Zeroka. And I just start laughing. Which is very uncharacteristic of Ms.
And Caelyn is laughing too, but it's just one of those, oh, she she read between that layer of you should enjoy life, Zeroka. Shall we go see if we have a mission? Because I'm done with this conversation now. And walks off, continuing to drink what is the remainder of her coffee. Actually, Abby, I have another magical item for you.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna have to message it to me.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's literally an eternal coffee thermos
Oh yeah, no, we can work that out. That's easy peasy.
and lemon and squeezy.
Yeah, no, there's lots of I mean, it wouldn't be super cheap or anything, but I mean, you know, an artificer that could probably do the thing for you. You know, an artificer that's probably already made one for you. Honestly, you probably already have one. We'll say on this particular day you misplaced it, and that's why you had to go buy coffee and bring coffee to Ms. And that's what happened on this day. If people want silly little things like an eternal coffee thermos and they're not going to use it for anything weird and just say they have it, that's totally fine with me.
Okay.
Totally, like an aside mention every now and again, like, hey, I got this thing. All right, with that, we are going to call it a night. Gary, thank you for whatever outro you put here. Everyone say good night.
This is where your life ends. Do you have any last words?
Yeah, check out the people that have supported us so far on, Tithus. You can follow on twitch.tv/Tithus. Becky, you can follow on Twitter and Instagram at Sugar Puns. Jess, you can follow on twitch.tv/JessPanda or follow Momocon on its socials like Facebook, MySpace, Instagram, Twitter, maybe LinkedIn, I don't know. Also follow Kyler on YouTube at Fishing After 5. Our buddy Jay, you can follow on twitch.tv/Rush918. And Ducky, you can follow on twitch.tv/DuckyPlease. Also, check out Misty Mountain Gaming for their dice. Thank you and good night. I hope you're enjoying these Pizza Chronicles because I don't know how long they'll last.